My name is Jamie, and Nelson, my question for you is to tell us a little bit about yourself and the background you come from.
Sure, not a problem. I was born and raised here in the city of Hialeah, and I grew up here by West 78th Street and 16th Avenue. I then proceeded on to go to college over at Florida State University in Tallahassee. While I was there, I earned my degree in economics and political science. And I got a lot of great experience working in the state legislature with our state representatives and our state senators, doing a lot of policy analysis, particularly in the healthcare sector. And also I analyzed the Florida $17.5 billion budget for their review, and which they used in their policy implementation. After my great experience there, I came back down here and worked a lot in the district with State Representative Rene Garcia. And I learned the value of constituent work while I was there. And I really was able to use my personal people skills and my economics background in actually assisting the representative with his policy implementation here in the district. I now serve on the Economic Development Committee for the town of Miami Lakes, and I actually advise the council and provide input and feedback on different various economic factors that occur in Miami Lakes. So there was an opportunity for me to run, and I decided to run in the town of Miami Lakes, and that's where we are right now.
Hi Inez, my name is Juan, and I want to know what's your plan for Miami Lakes.
Problem one, my plan for Miami Lakes really consists of one central theme, which is let's get back to basics Miami Lakes. It's a very broad theme, however, I've actually pinpointed 5 basic points that points to that entire theme. Beginning with fiscal responsibility. Fiscal responsibility to me is the essence, the foundation of my platform for bringing Miami Lakes back to basics. With excessive spending, you'll have excessive taxation, which, as I have already mentioned in my video, will place a very large burden on Miami Lakes families. We then move on to public safety. I'm the only candidate in my race to be endorsed by the Police Benevolent Association and the Fraternal Order of Police, which is a testament to my commitment to bringing public safety and ensuring that Miami Lakes families are safe in our town. We then move on to my third point, which is infrastructure. Being a small town that we are, there's no excuse to have run-down roads, to have poor lighting in our neighborhoods, and to have traffic congestion. We need to find viable, common-sense solutions for these problems and these issues. I believe by opening up Northwest 87th Avenue and synchronizing our traffic lights will facilitate the flow of traffic in Miami Lakes, also ensuring that our Public Works Department is extremely vigilant and very proactive in making sure that our streets are properly maintained and all our potholes and any type of problems like that with our streets are taken care of in a timely manner. We then move forward then to my fourth point, which is accessibility. Accessibility to what? It's very broad, right? But what I really mean by that is accessibility to their elected officials, accessibility to Miami Lakes parks, accessibility to the amenities that Miami Lakes has to offer the residents. I will continue to knock on doors after my election. You know, I keep saying that my election doesn't end on October 5th, and I'm going to continue on knocking on doors, meeting people, hosting public community forums to hear the concerns of the residents. I will also work hard towards ensuring that Miami Lakes families have access to our parks. Did you know, Juan, that Miami Lakes does not 100% own our parks? Some of them are still under the control of the county. But we pay money to maintain those parks. So, obviously, I'm an advocate for my town, and I want our families to have priority in accessing those parks. Finally is beautification. There's no doubt, as I said in my video, that Miami Lakes is one of the most beautiful communities in Miami-Dade County. By enforcing our code, our town code for beautification, I think we can preserve the beauty of our town. Keep it that same ambience that people moved into Miami Lakes for. People pay high taxes in Miami Lakes. I'm sure they want to live in a beautiful city, and that's what I'll bring them. So, in essence, that's my 5-point plan right there. I offer concrete solutions to our residents, whereas other candidates may not. They're very vague. They use a lot of rhetoric. Well, I want to offer them real solutions where they can actually wrap their minds around and actually visualize what I want to bring to our town.
Listen, tell me your different methods to approach people.
Various methods to approaching people, which I have actually implemented in my fourth point of my 5-point plan, which is the accessibility portion of it. My biggest thing for approaching people is going out there, pounding the pavement, knocking on doors, and just going to people's homes and listening to them. By knocking on their doors, I try to convey a message, my message of getting Miami Lakes back to basics, and I also get to hear their concerns and their feedback on my message. Not only that, they tell me issues that I may not be aware of. I mean, I'd like to know every issue in Miami Lakes, but the only way I really get to do that is by actually going all around town, knocking on doors, and listening to people. Once I hear the concerns, I can incorporate that into my ever-evolving platform, and then utilize that knowledge into policy implementation within the town of Miami Lakes. I've also made a lot of phone calls to my residents. It's a very effective way of just reaching out to people and even listening to their concerns. That way I'm not bothering them late at night, but still gives me an acceptable avenue to reach out to my neighbors. And finally, it's, like I said, hosting my community forums. I like to be somewhere people know I'm going to be at a certain time. That's why I've been hosting those Einstein Bagels community forums where people come in, they sit down with me at the table, enjoy a cup of coffee, and share ideas with me. They give me complaints. Sure, it's their right to complain. They pay taxes. I work for them. So I hear their complaints, I hear their concerns, and I take constructive criticism if necessary to increase the quality of life in Miami Lakes. So with those 3 different avenues, I think my accessibility portion of my 5-point plan is pretty apparent. And I think people really do like that portion of my platform.
And what would you say are the differences between you and your opponent?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people ask me that question, and I mean, I could tell you right off the bat. I mean, I believe I have a lot of energy. I mean, we have a lot of similarities in that we both live in Miami Lakes. We're both neighbors. We live in the same area. However, there are key differences. Differences, I think, in our philosophical approach towards politics. I believe in a very fiscal, conservative approach in budget implementation. I believe in limited government. Whether or not my opponent can agree to those terms and agree to that type of policy, you're going to have to ask her, but I'm not quite sure if she does. I'm endorsed by all our state legislators in Miami Lakes. I'm endorsed by the Christian Family Coalition. I'm endorsed by the Miami Young Republicans. I'm endorsed by the Police Benevolent Association and the Fraternal Order of Police, which are essentially our police officers in the town. I offer Miami Lakes a concrete 5-point plan. And I'm not aware if any other candidate has been able to offer Miami Lakes such a profound and apparent plan that people can wrap their minds around and their heads around. And I'm going to work very, very diligently for the people of Miami Lakes. I have no problem waking up at 5 in the morning to go out and meet people as they leave out to grab breakfast. I have no problems going out and late at night trying to talk to people or addressing any of their issues that they may call upon me for. Like I said, I have the mentality that I work for the people of Miami Lakes. They call on me whenever because that's their right. As their elected official, I work for them. So I think with what I just said and the fact that I have a plan and that I have endorsements from our state officials and that I have experience working in the state legislature. I don't believe my opponent has that type of experience working with the governor's budget office, working with policy analysis in the public sector like I did. I think I bring a unique approach to public policy to the town of Miami Lakes.
Hi Nelson, my name is Brenda. What do you think about the deficiencies in Miami Lakes?
I'm glad you asked that, Brenda, because there are a lot of deficiencies in Miami Lakes that must be corrected, which is exactly why I'm running. I believe, as I said before, that Miami Lakes should focus on the essential government services that from local governments provide. And I believe that Miami Lakes has gone on a departure, a departure from local basic services. For instance, I'll give you an example. Not too long ago, we spent $7,000 to go on a trip to Kansas City, Missouri for some type of award. An award I've never heard of, and I'm sure an award that 90% of the people of Miami Lakes have never heard of. And I think in these very difficult economic times, I think a more prudent use of that money would have been for any one of my points in my 5-point plan in the facilitation thereof. So, for instance, infrastructure. I would have rather used that $7,000 and provided at least one neighborhood in our town with effective and better lighting. People are scared to go out, and people have told me that they're scared to go out at night because of the darkness in the area, that there's not enough lighting. Well, they're paying taxes. I think we should be using that money to provide them with better lighting, better public lighting. That is an example of deficiency in public policy in Miami Lakes at this point. And as I said before, I've been noticing a lot of potholes in our streets, and I've been noticing the deterioration of the conditions of our streets. I think we should be focusing in on the improving the infrastructure in our town to attract not only residents and customers to our merchants, but also businesses. We should have more businesses come in to increase the employment rate in Miami Lakes and provide a little bit more of tax alleviation to our residents, so we can also spread it with other commercial entities. And I believe that's it. Those are just a few examples of some deficiencies in Miami Lakes, and I believe by implementing my going back to basics package once I get elected, I think we can cover most of those deficiencies and actually provide real results for the people of Miami Lakes.
Thank you, Nelson, for coming and talking with us. Good luck in your election.
Thank you very much. It was my pleasure to be here, and if you could just remember that Election Day is October 5th, which is less than a week from today, so please show up, encourage people to go vote, because really just showing up to vote, that's the most important thing at this point.
Thank you.
Lázaro Rossi, who really organized a bunch of college students to really help me in this campaign. Because without them, they were the core of my campaign. We stood out there on 154th Street. We stood out on 154th Street to wave, sign waving, put out door hangers, and you guys did not let me down. Thank you. Thank you, Lázaro.
Don't stop.